Welcome to Intro to AI Agents. An AI agent in Unify can be programmed on your behalf to prospect and qualify accounts for you based on open-ended prompting. I'm so excited to get to walk you through this feature today. This is one of my favorite features in Unify. Let's dive right in. Click on the Agents tab on the left-hand side menu bar, and then click New Agent. First, we can give this agent a name, and then specify whether it needs to run on a company record type or a person record type. Finally, we want to give the agent questions that it needs to answer for us to know whether the company or person is qualified. In response to your questions, it can answer in true or false format, in number, it can select by multiple options, or return plain text. So the best way to understand how this agent works is to just go through a few examples. Let's say that you only sell to B2B companies. Maybe you have a SaaS or software solution that just isn't relevant to consumer brands. You can create an agent called Is the Company B2B? Make sure it runs on the company record type and give it some guidance. Here we can say, research the company's website or business model to determine whether the company sells primarily to businesses, is B2B, or is a consumer company or brand, is B2C. And then the one question we wanted to answer is the company B2B? And we want this response type to return true or false. Now, it's good to usually test the agent to see if it is returning results as expected. For now, I'm going to put in a company that I know is B2B and click Generate. While the agent is thinking, it's actually sharing what it's doing. A few things to note is Unify's agents can search the web. They can look at a company's website, inspect the HTML. They can see if certain interfaces are present on the website. They can even go into Google Maps and see if there's a parking lot in a company's HQ. This agent example finally returned. And if we click into the results, it's sharing its logic and questioning as well as what it's doing. In this case, it actually did go to the website. It went to LinkedIn. Finally, this did return true, which is what we would expect. That's one example of an agent that you can create, is the company B2B. The second example is to see if a company has a specific technology on its website. A good example is, does the company use Auth0? Here, we're doing this at the company level again, and we want the agent to check out the company's website to see if they use Auth0. Finally, we want the agent to return true or false to this question. Great. So again, we can see what the agent did here to determine its outcome, where it's searching, how it's reflecting, ultimately, whether it returns true or false. The last and final example is sentiment analysis. An agent can do a lot of research online and get a general sense of sentiment that you can action on. So a really good example is, does the company have negative customer support sentiment? We can say, does the company have negative customer support sentiment? And here we wanted to do generic research online and return true or false. But in a more nuanced example of this, we can have it actually reference specific reviews or incidents, return that in the response type as text, and even use that in our emails. I could make AI agent use case videos all day, but for the purposes of this introduction, this has you covered in terms of building a simple AI agent. If, however, you're hungry for more of this kind of content, definitely check out our YouTube channel, especially the AI Agent playlist, where I walk you through so many outbound plays and creative ideas for how to use an AI agent to automate your outbounding.